Come on, who is on? Well, listen, I am fighting these motherfucking allergies, and I'm doing it naturally, as y'all know. I'm not taking any allergy medicine. I want to build up my body's immunity to histamines and all that good stuff. So I'm doing it the natural way. Of course, I'm gonna do my nasal rinses, but still, honey, it's everywhere. And that is the beautiful part about living in a state that is agriculturally rich and it's filled with abundance and vitality in life. Because in that process, pollen is created, which will cause a whole bunch of shit. But the flip side to that, like I said, there's energy here. So, like I said, bear with me while I get through this and talk to you guys about this tea. Who you doing? And anyway, so of course, I'm stopped by here because I want to talk about some topics. And I'm actually excited because something came to me last night. And as you know, we were doing heavy work. And I've told people my process and people still don't listen, so we're not going to pay that any attention. But, people are always trying to distract me. And it's quite funny because, of course, you come out of your old ways. The more spiritually involved you become, the more spiritually elevated you become, the more you rise up out of the norm. Okay, we can even say it to the point to where the more spiritual stuff you do, the less naturally binded you are, right? Because you have the supernatural, you have the natural. So of course, as time go on and you grow, you have to cut people off and you have to let people go. And of course, that makes room for bigger and better. Because as you grow, the universe also grows your territory, expands your horizons, and basically, you have a bigger playing field. And of course, you meet people, you don't think like, oh, well, you're going to grow with me. You're going to be with me. We're going to be together forever. We're going to always be buddies because I like you now. Because like I said, the more spiritually involved you become, the more spiritually strong you become, and the more you start to see things for what it is, and things start to make sense to you on personal or public levels. So either way, like I said, things have been going on, and personally outside of YouTube, and I just watch how certain people act and what is it they do. Excuse me, let me drink some water. But as I said, things are changing. There's new chapters opening for me publicly and privately. And as I make this transition, there are people that were with me before the transition, and they're not meant to go through the transition with me and or make it to the other side with me. So I have to be open. And I'm saying this to you because it's the same thing with you. When you ask for bigger and better, all areas of your life will be changed. But I want to go into this because I think that everything that we are and that we are to become, we have to give praise and honors to our ancestors, always. Don't do it only when you need something. Always honor your ancestors, because who you are and who you will be is because of them. And you have to embrace that. You have to cherish that, because you cannot change that, okay? You are destined to be who you are. And that's okay, for those on the flip side of this who are not as open-minded and not as ready for healing, not as open to healing, because it's not about being ready for healing. Things happen in life in this world, and it opens you up to heal. And, we can talk about death for a minute, looking at it from that aspect, the process of ending, okay, in this sense, in this third dimension, ending life, ending your existence here in this third dimension, going through that process, people still forget that there are greater things outside of this life. So they stay earthbound, they stay naturally bounded, and going into that, it stops their spiritual growth and it stops them from moving forward spiritually. And I always tell y'all this, that I find it very funny and quite entertaining to see people who are physically grown, which means they lived on this earth for so many years and they've done so much research on spirituality. But instead of them investing what they've learned into their spirit, they used what they learned that could have taken them to the next level to keep them bounded and shackled down to where they were when they first discovered the information. So fast forwarding years later, and they could have discovered it at 20, because I know people that I've spoke with personally that been in the spiritual stuff for like 20 years. And I'm like, honey, no tea, no shade. You're still racist. You're still sexist. You're still homophobic. I don't see where that spirituality, where has that taken? I don't see how that has helped you, because everything that you experience in this life is preparing you for the next level. So if you're stuck on the earthly desires or the things that are earthly affecting you, because we're gonna go into this another way, then baby, you're not ready for that spiritual evolution. You're not ready to ascend. You're not ready for the fourth and fifth dimension. And that's why I say to people like, yeah, we're all moving to the fourth, fifth dimension. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Some of us are already there, mama. Some of us are already making that transition. Many of you won't ever get there. As long as there's ignorance here on any level, it's never going to happen. Of course, people are using these new age technologies or terminologies to excite people, to make them think that there's an escape plan, right? But I always say this, that everything that we're experiencing collectively, we all have done it to ourselves, because it wasn't us, like you or I, it's people that came before us. And even then, opportunities have come along to help us change our mind. And yet we stay with old ways. And that's why in scriptures, there's the Old Testament and the New Testament. And that's why there's an old world and a new world. So going into that, it's going to lead me into something else that I posted on my Instagram last night. Because of course, when you're in the world, when you're in the realm of the spirit, things come to you. You get downloads. People, I get download. Well, you call yourself a queen, honey. You wrap yourself in head wraps. I'm not pointing to anyone in particular, but you wrap your hair up in head wraps. You anoint your head with jewels. You think your yoni is sacred and all this other good stuff, and you think that your dick is golden, and you think that you are royalty because you have laid the pipe down on everybody and their mamas in the neighborhood. You think that you're a king because you have done the things that you should do, period. Get a job, go to school, better yourself, right? So because of this, you consider yourself a king or a queen. This goes for anybody, not just a racial classification of people. But on the flip side of that, how can you be so inclined or so spiritually in tuned or so spiritually advanced that you're still stuck on the flesh? You're still stuck on the fact that people are lighter than you, people are darker than you, people are skinnier than you, people are fatter than you. You're still stuck on the fact that some people choose to be Muslim to get that side of their spirit fed. You're still stuck on the fact that some people choose to be whatever it is that they are to better evolve their spirit, because that's what you're here for too. So on the flip side of that, the lower self, the ego side of self, the negative side of the third realm, also known as solar plexus, will fool you if you have a weak upbringing, and it'll have you thinking that because you are darker or lighter, you're more superior, because it's all the same to me. It will have you think because you are gay or you're straight, you're better than the next person. And have you thinking because you are a Christian or you're a Buddhist or your religion does not allow you to drink or smoke, that you're better than the next motherfucker. But not understanding that we all have different roles and different assignments in this plane or on this planet. Okay. And going into the third dimension, when you become disconnected with your higher self, because we talk about this, and I'm going to continue to talk about this. And I'm also going to share my screen to show some things. Because like I said, when I was in the process of doing someone's work, I have many clients from all around the world. This client in particular comes from the beautiful country of India, or we could say continent of India. It's whatever, however you want to, girl. Ha. Bitch, some people say the beautiful world of India. But anyway, India. Okay, I love people in India. I have many lives there, honey. And I'm drawn to them, they're drawn to me. But either way, while in the process of doing this person work, things was coming to me because they were asking me so many questions, like, hey, well, what does this mean? And I always tell people this, I get this question asked over and over again. Well, I prayed and it didn't work. I tried this and it didn't work. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And I always tell people the number one thing is that you're using the natural way to interpret the supernatural. You're using the natural way, which is bounded by laws, to try to explain and or move into the spiritual realm. And as you know, you are a spiritual being who descended into the flesh to better advance the spirit that's within. So everything that you are in this life and you are going to become affects the grand scheme of it all. But the truth of the matter is that this life that you're currently living now is probably only going to count for 1% of that evolvement. And the fact is that you're going to try to say that you're spiritual or you're trying to seek spirituality, but you're still stuck in that. You're still binded by the natural laws. I'm going to tell you this, you're going to fail. You're never going to achieve anything spiritually. You're never going to get the life that you desire. You're never going to get any friends, and whatever you want, whatever your heart desire, it's not going to happen because you're still bounded by the laws, the natural laws that are set in place, instead of moving into the supernatural and understanding the supernatural. And going into that, because he's in India and I'm in America, I know that Indian people are very smart people. They're very intelligent. And I said, I want to get past that language barrier, Spirit, and I want to explain to this man the way he could receive it. And Spirit broke things down to me, and I instantly was seeing stuff like to where, y'all, sinuses are going crazy. I'm being relaxed. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We did some spiritual stuff. We did some colonics. We did a whole bunch of stuff the past few days. And going into that, I was getting real visions, like dreamlike visions. And I was like, honey, this is what it is. So of course, there are different kingdoms out there. And like I said, this is going to go into the loop of people that call themselves gods and goddesses, because understanding God and goddesses, or understanding the title, a king or a queen, that is a frequency. That is a consciousness. Just like being a bum is a consciousness, just like being a basic bitch is a consciousness, just like being a wimp is a consciousness, so is being a king or a queen. So in order for you to accept, or in order for you to be called, or for people to see you as a king or queen, we're not talking about physical people, because of course, if a bitch don't like you because you're black, they're not going to say bitch you're a queen, because they know that kings and queens are higher than them, right? Even going into the interpretation of your higher self and your lower self. When your lower self is fully functioning and loving and I got the shit, it's afraid of the higher self. So it doesn't want to understand how the higher self works. It chooses to stay in the lower self, or the old way of thinking, the primitive way, the reptilian way. It chooses to stay there when it knows that there's greater. It knows that things are opening up for you to rise up out of the old way of thinking, out of the old way of living. So going into the whole king and queen stuff, like I said, for me, it is a consciousness. It is a frequency. And because you call yourself that, or because you think you should be called that, if I don't see that, I'm not going to call you that. I'm not going to, I'm not going to falsely, give you that title, because of course ego comes in, and people who are not really gods and goddesses or kings and queens, they start thinking that they rule and shit. And as I told you about my experience in Denny's, a couple of weeks ago, where the guy was like, bitch, I'm king. Don't talk to me like that. And it's like, first of all, ain't no king of mine gonna be sitting in Denny's by himself, bitch, looking for something to come on in here. Second of all, bitch, you have a look like, anyway. So I posted something on my Instagram, and we're gonna talk about it very lightly. Very lightly. Yeah, we said it very lightly. Okay, very lightly. And I want you to get this. I don't mean it or not, but of course, I'm here to share. Okay, I'm here to share. Honey, let me figure out how to work Instagram. Hold on. Yeah, bitch, I know how to work Instagram, bitch. I don't be on there like that. Bitch, let me figure it out. I'm trying to figure out how can I go to my homepage. Hold on. It's showing me everybody else's shit. How can I see what I posted? Oh, hold on. Okay, it wasn't. I was clicking at it. It didn't bring me up there. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna speak about this, and then we're gonna go into some tea because I need you to get this. If you gonna call yourself my sister, we're gonna say this. If you gonna call yourself my spiritual sister, my spiritual brother, or if you're gonna call me your spiritual mother, or if you're gonna call me or think that you can sit with me, as they say. That's not what I'm saying. That's what they say. You can't sit with us. If you think that you're gonna sit with me, then you have to understand. You have to understand what it is. You got to understand the reality, because we know that perceptions are based off of experiences. So of course I posted a scripture, Second Chronicles 20, verse 6, the King James Version. And it says, and said, O Lord, God of our fathers, and the original term says God of our ancestors, art not thou God in heaven, and rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? All the kingdoms, that means plural, and in thine hand is there not power and might, so none is able to withstand thee. Okay. And what I wrote is, I'm a spiritualist that practice the ancient arts. I use meaningful spiritual books to reference my understanding of my higher self. The scripture listed on this picture speaks about the Most High being sovereign over all kingdoms in the heaven and on earth. Sovereign means to be superior. We have a saying in the spiritual community, as above, so below. If the Most High is outside of the body, the Most High is also within the body, which means I too am the Most High. You too are, right? The scripture says the Most High is sovereign over all kingdoms. You have 11 well-known kingdoms: the sovereign kingdom, the planetary kingdom, the angelic kingdom, the astral kingdom, the ancestral kingdom, the Amelia kingdom, the Plantae kingdom, the fungi kingdom, the Protista kingdom, the Urobacteria kingdom, and the Archaebacteria kingdom. If you are calling yourself a king or a queen, you are claiming to be God, right? Godlike, which means you're claiming to be sovereign over all kingdoms. That means that the subcategories in each one of the 11 listed kingdoms does not dominate you. It does not affect you because you rule over it. What's in the Animalia kingdom? You have the subcategories like the kingdom of culture, the kingdom of race, the kingdom of religion, the kingdom of body types. You are claiming to be God. If you are claiming to be God or goddess, you are not oppressed, but you are aware that the separation exists, but it does not break you. It does not make you. It does not rule your every thought because you are above it. If you are a god or a goddess, I'm saying all this to say, I would never call someone a god or a goddess or king or queen who are still trapped within their own illusions and delusions that would keep them earthbound beyond the physical realm, what your natural eyes can see. There are energies that supersede your exact being in this moment right now. If you are a god or a goddess, you are claiming sovereignty over all kingdoms. You are not racist. You are not sexist. You are not against someone's sexual orientation. You're not against someone's body type or how someone identifies themselves in any way, shape, or form. Learn something, and everybody is not going to be like this, obviously. This type of message or this type of teaching, everyone is not going to like because it's not in their frequency. They have yet to rise to the God or God, the goddess or God consciousness, of course, within. Now, of course, there's no punctuation here. I was just typing because it was coming to me, honey, and I was typing along. Going into that, as I said before, if you are a human being or a spirit having a human experience and you're claiming to be a god or a goddess, that means that you're not really bounded by the earthly experiences of being a Black woman or a Black man. That doesn't stop you from moving through, because there are Black men and Black women out there, for my Black brothers and sisters out there, that have superseded their Caucasian counterparts because they're not trapped by the configurations or the calculations or the laws that have been put in place for the weak-minded individuals. They've got past that. It's not stopping them from growing spiritually. They have prayed enough and invested enough into themselves spiritually that the ranking of who they are have risen. So they have access to higher power, greater power, which allows them to move or maneuver through this earthbound place easily. So they get all the things that they desire, whether it's magically, of course it's magically, because spirit is energy and magic is energy. But of course, like I said, they get what it is that they need to get because they have risen outside of the limitations that was placed on themselves. Because of course, someone could tell me all day long that wearing blonde wigs will cause me to have cancer, but it's up to me to decide if I believe that to be true or not and to live that. Very similar to when people are taught how to hate certain people or how to dislike a way of someone. It doesn't mean you have to subscribe to that and stay with that. Because I know lots of people, I've dated people that were raised not to go outside of their race, that were raised not to hang with people that did not practice their exact same religious concepts. But they grew out of that because they said, spiritually, this religion is not going to keep me bounded within this realm. Spiritually, it doesn't matter if I'm in love with a Black woman, a white woman, or a Black man. It doesn't matter to me because bitch, just Black flesh, just white flesh, just Hispanic flesh. When I die, it's going to stay here. So it's about energies and frequencies intermingling, not about races of people and the fact that you like animals or you don't like animals or you're religious or you're not religious. It's not about that. It's about a intermingling, a congregation, a church of like-minded energy. And when that happens, your frequency raises. People know this. I've hung out with some people. Often here, maybe two people. And like I said, we've had spiritual things that have happened that I haven't experienced by myself. That even, I'm sure my best friend said she didn't experience by herself. But because you had a collective or a church of people in the same frequency wanting more, bitch, it literally pulled things down to us. And that's why we saw things where we saw things. And it changed our lives. We're going to keep it at that. So going into that, we know that racism and sexism is only within the laws of the land. It's only within a certain area because every country, every state, every city is not about racism. They don't have a division of skin color and all that good shit. Okay, let me drink some water, excuse me. But they don't have a division of these things, and they're aware of these things. Obviously, you look at your skin, you look at the skin, oh, bitch, we don't look alike. But the fact is that when I'm with you, I feel good. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm looking at a brother or a sister. When I'm with you, I see past that physical stuff because I understand that when you pass on, it's not going to look the same. What also kind of just a little side note, when I hear people, because like I said, I know spirit, I know energy. I have yet to see someone I know pass on. I'm very familiar with death. Pass on and come back to me where I'm awake and I see them the exact same way they looked before they passed on. They look different. I'm gonna tell you this. My grandmother, when she passed on, of course she was a human. When I saw my grandmother in spirit form and even physically, when I know my grandmother's energy was around, I see butterflies. That is a national or a family symbol for my grandmother. And she comes. Don't ask me why we gave that to her, but that's just what it is. Ladybugs. I have a cousin who passed away over 15 years ago. Ladybugs. That's his thing. Like, I don't know how. Don't say, oh, how. We didn't pick that. That's just energy-wise of how that energy come through. And it could be even like a swarm of butterflies coming through. And that energy you're feeling like, this is grandma. This is grandma. This is Nana. Or, a swarm of ladybugs just being everywhere. You're like, oh, this is my cousin. So, like I said, energy is very different spiritually than it is physically, because physically we can feel it. But spiritually, you see it totally different. So no one spiritually look how they look physically. And I think that sometimes when people do say, well, I seen my grandmother physically walking down the hall, I think that's their interpretation of what that grandmother looked like. That's their own projection of what she would look like, because obviously they know her. But like I said, when I've done readings for people spiritually, I have to interpret based off what I'm feeling. Like, okay, I feel like he will be a skinny guy, but I'm not seeing this man, right here looking like that. But either way, like I said, when you're above that, when your ranking is outside of the Animalia kingdom, when you're aware that you're a multi-dominion entity, when you're aware that you are above all kingdoms, you're not stuck on that bullshit that only keeps you here. In order for you to move spiritually, you have to get outside of that. You cannot be spiritually inclined, but be spiritually dumb at the same time. It doesn't make sense at all. And that's why a lot of people don't like me, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense that, and I speak about it, it makes no sense for you to be a spiritually inclined person. Because even going back into this, if you're into ancient arts and ancient witchcraft and all that good stuff, paganism, druidism, the Afro traditions, everybody in the ancient arts borrow something from every fucking culture. Everybody. Everybody. If you were to get together with other spiritual people, regardless of them having Afro spirituality or Native American spirituality or Asian Taoism, if you got together with them and you talk with them about things, and you'll be like, well, we do that in our culture too. And then, of course, you will go back to the basic ass way and say, oh, you copied that from my people, huh? My people taught you that, didn't they? Like, girl, bye. In the ancient world, everybody copied everything because nothing is new under the sun. And if we're spiritually in tuned, we all interpret the spirit world. Now, it may not be the same, but we still interpret the spirit world, right? So that's what it was. That's what it is. There's no confinement or I'm only doing this. That's why I say religions were created to keep your spirit bounded and shackled down to things that are not real, or should I say that are not supernatural. When spirituality is about seeing the supernatural. It's about being the supernatural. It's about seeing past someone's physical attributes. That's what it's about. Same thing with love and all that good stuff. Nobody say, well, I love a man who's, some of y'all do. That's why that's why y'all having problems finding a man now. And same thing with friends. Y'all don't want to be friends with people that look like you. Not knowing that the people that look like you fucked your life up in the beginning. Not knowing that this man, he was everything. And now what happened to him? He turned out to be a sour ass motherfucker, huh? Right, exactly. So you have to go with what you're feeling. Spiritually, what is best for me? Fuck that outside shit. If my spirit is telling me that at this time I need a man who is a part of the Arab culture, bitch, then that's what's going to be. And girl, bye, that's what it's going to be. And I wish somebody would tell me different. That's what it's going to be. Okay? So same thing with you. If you're, white love, black love, I got to give me a black man too. And we can go into that too. Y'all ancestors, bitch, a lot of y'all Americans, and you get it from these American motherfuckers, a lot of y'all ancestors could be everything. Some of y'all got white grandmamas, and it amazes me, the ones that have white grandmothers don't even know it. They be the first one talking that racist bullshit about white people. And I'm just looking like, girl, do you not know that you have a great grandmother that's white? And no, honey, there was no raping going on. They both agreed to it. Now, of course, they said it was rape because, back then, black and whites couldn't intermingle like that, but they definitely both agreed to it. So, girl, do you not know you got white in you, or Asian in you, or Hispanic in you? Those conquistadors, bitch, had it all too. Everybody, mama, grandmama got dipped in, girl, by everybody, grandpapa too, dipped in everything, girl. He loved him some Asian persuasion. He liked him some whitey patati. He liked him some black, what do they call for black people? Some black and delicious. I don't know. I just heard about Asian persuasion, whitey patati. I don't know. Anyway, everybody done had everybody. And for you to sit up on this motherfucking camera, off this camera, and be like, well, I look black now. So fuck my ancestors who came before me. Fuck my European ancestors, because society told me not to like them. So I'm going to be hateful to everybody who look like them. And of course, that's a form of self-hate, as I talked about before. That's a form of self-hate. Because self-hate is definitely not just, oh, I don't like my skin I'm in. Self-hate is also knowingly or maybe unknowingly knowing that, or like I said, unknowingly, that you also have white in you and you don't like that aspect of you. So now you're projecting it. Fuck white people. Fuck, you're projecting that shit. So as I said, in order for you to be a king or queen or my friend or anything spiritual with me, and even as a client, bitch, we don't play that. If you racist and you hear me, I bet you better not say nothing about no racism on my damn phone. Because bitch, I'll block, ban, and delete. I'm not playing either. But we don't do that. Let me share my screen because let me make sure I get this pulled up first. Because I want to share something because we had another spiritual person who's a man, and we gotta forgive. We gotta forgive the man. Ladies, can we say this really quickly? Say I forgive the man because they only work with one side of their brain. Not all of them, but most of them. So we're going to say, ladies, I forgive the man in my life. Yeah, let's say it right now, I forgive him. Don't mean you got to fuck with him still. I say you forgive them. Don't mean you got to kiss their ass and they hit you up and disrespect you and you go back to their asses think he going to get, oh, he going to change, honey. He going to change. So I want to get into this with y'all very quickly. Can we get into this really quickly? Let's share the screen. I don't like to use the word alchemist. I don't like to say that I'm an alchemist and all that good stuff because everybody and their mama's like alchemist nowadays. But the alchemist side of me, the scientific side of me, the scientist in me, honey, because I had a life as a scientist grow back in 1400. Yes, girl, 1400, the year 1400 and something. I won't give that out because some of you bitches like do research and shit. But I lived my life as a scientist. I was a biologist and all that good stuff. So I love science. Even in this life, I love science. But anyway, the domain. Now we talk about domain. Even the Bible talks about the dominion. Hold on. And of course, the domain, okay, also known as super kingdom or empire. Come on now. Okay. But we won't stick to this. So this is tangible. This is tangible. Can you say that with me? Tangible, because the supernatural cannot be explained, but the natural can. And behind the natural, there's always something supernatural behind the natural. Let's talk about the tree of life. According to the system, the tree of life consists of 3 kingdoms: the archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. I want to name my daughter that. Eukarya, honey. How you doing? The first 2 are all prokaryotic microorganisms or single-cell organisms whose cells have no nuclei or nucleus. All life that has a nucleus or nuclei and membrane-bound organelles and multicellular organism is included. See that right there? See that right there? You need something, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up. Okay, y'all. But my dog, he doing some shit. He doing some shit right now. He lucky he didn't break that plant because I would have broke my. Anyway, so I'm showing this because I want you guys to see this, okay? According to this chart, it says the term domain was proposed by Carl Louis, Otto Candler, and Mark Willis in 1990. Well, for those who are into the gay flag and the rainbow, because people said that the gay flag, let's get into this. A very hermaphrodite appearing male, and there's nothing wrong with that, obviously it's not. I'm intersex, technically I'm considered hermaphrodite. But either way, a very hermaphrodite, self-denial, self-hateful male, I guess you say conscious man, said that the gay flag, catch this, is the root chakra, the chakra was flipped upside down. And even going into the candles, we call the 7-color candles, it's also flipped, right? You have the darkest one at the top, the lightest one at the bottom. Some of them is flipped the other way. But if you look at this chart put together, it talks about the domain, the kingdoms, the rankings of the taxonomics
You see the root chakra at the top, which says domain. You see the sacral chakra, which is next, which is called the kingdom. You see the solar plexus after that, which is called the phylum or phylum. Then you have the heart chakra after that, which is called the class. Then you have the throat chakra after that, which is called the order. Then you have the crown, or you call about the soma, let's talk about it, which is called the family, third eye, which is the family, the soma, which is the genus, and you have the crown, which is the species. So according to what I see here, spiritually speaking, because I will always say this, is that people who do not understand spirit from the supernatural way will always bring in the natural way to interpret. And as long as you do that, you will never, ever, ever, ever have any type of spiritual advancement. Now, you got spiritual power because a lot of us could cook, right? Let's talk about cooking. A lot of us know what we think we know how to cook because we know how to boil pasta and we know how to cook tomato sauce. But that's where it stops at because we're bounded by pasta and motherfucking tomato sauce. But once you start ranking up and you become a real chef or a cook, you start knowing how to actually make the tomato sauce your damn self. You start learning how to make different types of pastas. You start learning how to make different types of combinations with the pasta and the motherfucking tomato sauce. So now you have ranked up higher. You have now risen up out of a certain species to a genius, into a family, into order, and so forth, so forth, so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So, like I said, I want to show that as an example. Because you have a lot of people that do not understand how spirit works. Spirit is not concerned about you being a man or a woman that's into men or women. Spirit is not concerned about you being a white man dating a black woman. Spirit is not concerned about you being a black woman dating a white man. Those are human, okay, earthbound limitations. Those are earthbound rankings. And as long as you fall under those rankings, you can never dominate anything. Scripture speaks about you being above the enemy, not below the enemy. Can we talk about that? Spirit speaks about you being above, not below. That means as long as you rise up into who you're supposed to be, can we talk about that? You will always prosper and move into the spirit the way that you should. So as long as you have this life and you're aware of your spirit at all times, not just when you need something spiritually, not just when you want to act like you got spiritual power. I'm a spiritualist. Sis, I'm getting downloads. But yet you have a problem with Asians, Hispanics, or Blacks, or gays, or fat. Like, girl, it doesn't sound right. And I choose not to be a part of that. I choose not to entertain that in any way, shape, or form. I don't like that. I'm not into that. And, I've made it clear to some people. They don't get it, honey. I'm a mixed person. I have different type of people in my motherfucking family. I would never sit on a phone with nobody who is white, black, Hispanic, or Asian and put down any of my other motherfucking bloodlines because they need to be comforted. They need to be physically, naturally accommodated. Bitch, you have to come up out of that because you are a so-called supernatural being having a natural experience and you're being trapped in that natural experience. And that's why when the natural dies or decay, bitch, you're gonna be stuck down here. You're not going into no heaven. You're not going into no hell. You're not going into no other universe. You can sit here all day and pray and act like, oh yeah, I am. I'm connected to the Orishas. You're not going there, girl, because you're going to continue to have incarnations. You're going to continue to be stuck down here because you're stuck on the physical shit. This is why you have no vision physically or spiritually. This is why you can't see what motherfuckers are not meaning well to you. This is why you get fooled, honey, with business too. You got to come up out of the natural way. Now, of course, you're here, so you got to still have one foot in. You have to be conscious of the fact that you're still a human, right? But you're a spirit having a human experience. So you're only a human by experience only. But you are a spirit, a supernatural being underneath that. And that's my main message. It's not about nothing else. The minute you let people limit you on, don't go to a gay person, don't go to a white person, don't go to a Hispanic person, don't teach the white man your magic you're using against you. Girl, that time right there that you're a weak ass bitch. That time right there that you're trapped in the human. You're trapped in the natural world. And I'm supernatural. I honor and I respect my supernatural being. And that's why I'm flourishing. That's why I'm happy. That's why I'm getting where I need to get and how to get there. Like it's working out because nothing is stopping. But the minute you have any inkling of then girl, now you're being stuck. You're being bonded by the natural. Yes, jealousy, hating, all this shit. That is a natural law. Those are natural things set in place by those who are superior to you or those who have a higher ranking than you, spiritually speaking. So you cannot tell me that you work with the angelic realm or you work with the sovereign realm. The sovereign realm, and of course, there's different divisions of that, because even going into the natural meaning of domain biologically, it says there's several hierarchies or 8 major taxonomic rankings within the universe. You have life, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Going into that, baby girl, we could be a part of the same genus group, but we're definitely not the same motherfucking species. Can we talk about it? We can both have life, but we're not a part of the same motherfucking domain. We could be, in the same domain, but don't mean we're part of the same motherfucking kingdom or queendom. So I need you to understand that, bitch, I'm not going to call you a god or goddess because you think you should be called that. If you're still stuck on you being black, if you still out here trying to rock shit that you've never been, you've never been to Africa, bitch, you don't send shit over there to feed those people. If you're so African, please give to the African continent. Please pick an African country and please send them money. I would love to see that. For you black contributors talk about you African and all black power. Please send the people in your country, because you did 23andMe. Send them some tea. Please. I'll wait. Please. You're so confused and you don't even know it. You're so conscious, you're so natural that you're trying to be supernatural. It's not working for you. And that goes even into the spiritual people. That's why your spells are not working. That's why your prayers are not working. That's why your things are not working, because you are still bounded and binded by the natural laws. This is why magic allow people who left your life to come back, because it works above the natural laws. This is why magic free people behind bars, because it works behind the natural laws. It understands there are spirits above the natural laws. And we can break that down too. You got natural and supernatural. Supernatural goes so beyond. It goes so beyond. It goes so beyond the sovereignty. As we talk about the sovereign kingdom is the highest that we could perceive, that we could comprehend. But it goes beyond that. Even going into the kingdom of the angelic kingdom, there's different levels of that. There's different levels of the ancestral kingdom. There's different levels of the Animalia kingdom. Look it up. There's different levels of the sovereign kingdom. So like I said before, I will never, and you people out there that are over here calling yourself gods and goddesses because it makes you feel good, bitch, you are being further and further pushed away from that god or goddess consciousness. Because of course, and I'm saying if you're calling yourself that, then you're still stuck on the fact that you're black and I'm white and I don't like that. I don't do the gays and I don't do the straights and I don't do the Muslims. I can't do Arabic people. I don't like white people. Their skin is pinky and all this other bullshit. Then girl, you're not ready. You're not ready to sit with us. You're not ready to sit with us, and not even on an egotistical, arrogant way. I definitely consider myself a queen because I see the bullshit, and like I said, that's why I'm motherfucking single, and I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, bitch, we can all get it. I can definitely play that role. And no, girl, bye. I don't got time for that bullshit. I've yet to come across any guy that I think is on my level. And that's just how it is. And not saying I'm even looking either. Don't get that twisted. But like I said, honey, kings and queens act that way. They act like they're above other motherfucking kingdoms. Okay? Okay? Because you're a king or queen, you're in the sovereign kingdom, which means you're over all things. You're not stuck and trapped within the species. You're not stuck and trapped within the genus. You're not stuck and trapped within the family, the order, the class, the phylum, the kingdom. You're not stuck in that. You're not stuck within the animal kingdom, because of course that's the kingdom we're in. So you know what it's like to be a part of the Animalia kingdom. Can we talk about it? Anima, can we talk about that? You're a part of that. So you understand that there are laws within that. If you have not managed that or got over that, then girl, you're not a god or a goddess. And I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist, sexism does not exist. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you don't have to be a victim of that. Your words, your thoughts, can we talk about your brain being a world within, and even the word word, even the terminology word and world have the same letters in it, except for there's an L added into the word world, right? So even going to that, it's the same fucking thing. Your words create your world. And the people that you hang out with does the exact same fucking thing. You cannot want to manifest a loving man, a good woman, if you're dealing with single, miserable ass motherfuckers. Okay? Motherfuckers who don't like nobody. Oh, girl, no, I can't. And it's like, girl, you were doing this 2 years ago. What changed? Because you're not in a different ranking, girl. Because you were in a different ranking, then certain spirits will be attracted to you and certain things would happen for you. Okay? So, like I said, you have to be and surround yourself with the people that you want to be. You have to surround yourself with the words to create the world that you want to be in. Okay? And that's just how it is. So, with that being said, I just wanted to motherfucking share that with y'all, because I think that a lot of people, use this little king and queen thing so loosely, and I'm just like, girl, first of all, you inherit the kingdom or the queendom, bitch. You don't come from basic ass low vibrational individuals and you're the first king and queen in your family. It doesn't work that way. In order for you to be a king or a queen or a sovereign, be a part of the sovereign kingdom, you have to inherit that. Okay? That means that the people who were before you, your ancestors, antecessors, were a part of that kingdom. They were aware of that. They operated in that. So you can't sit here and tell me that your mama, your daddy, your grandparents on both sides were minions, peasants, liars, thieves. We can go into that too. And all of a sudden, God bless you with the opportunity to take the crown. It doesn't work that way. Even going into the natural kingdom or the kingdoms of law, like the king and queen of England, or the queen of England, all the good stuff, and the king of Africa, all the good stuff. Even going within that, everyone had servicemen. So everyone is not meant to be a king or queen. Some of y'all are meant to be servicemen. Some of y'all are not meant to rise up. You're not meant to learn everything about magic. You're not meant to grasp it. And some people are, but because they're stuck because they're letting people influence their own experience, their own perception, they cannot comprehend. So they're always physical. Like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? And I tell people, you cannot just limit your brain. If every time, and I want to just say this, and I shouldn't be talking right now, but I don't give a fuck, bitch. Girl, bye. Just because my sinus allergists are fucking a bitch, you guys not stop me from doing the motherfucking thing. Hold on. But if you are connected to a deity, let's say, Oshun, because, I'm connected to Oshun. I love Oshun. Oshun has always been there. But everything I experience in life, I don't connect back to Oshun. Because for one, Oshun is not the only spirit that is with me. And for two, Oshun is not the only energy that makes things possible for me. So if I want to grow, if I want to expand, like the universe is forever expanding, then I got to always keep my mind open. I got to be able to, when someone gives me new information or I experience something new, I got to be able to take that information for what it is and take that as a new starting point. And if I choose to down the line connect and say, no wonder why, because that's Oshun or that's this or whatever energy is with me. But if you're doing that constantly for just someone came and they gave you a yellow flower, you're like, wait a minute, yellow? That's Oshun. Girl, there's a whole bunch of yellow. Girl, like really, there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be referenced to yellow, even going into the meaning of what a yellow flower means. Like yellow carnations mean things, yellow roses mean things. So you have to keep your mind open. Your brain is forever absorbing things. You have to keep that open to receive. But like I said, a lot of people limit that. I'm just like, ooh, this is so sad because they're gonna be stuck on this lesson for the next 10 years when this lesson ain't even gonna serve them no good, you know? And that's how magic is too. Magic never expires because you're forever growing, and so is magic, even the old ways of magic. But definitely certain techniques does not work anymore. Because of course we're now in the age of technology, as I mentioned before, and because you have access to all things, people who have that information has now moved up and they use other stuff. They do other things. So going into that, you can look up some old things, and it's on the internet. Girl, I'm telling you this right now. You can Google a spell or a ritual. It's not that effective. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You can Google spell or ritual, bitch. It's not that effective because at the end of the day, okay, spells does not have an expiration date, but it definitely something happens with that, and we'll just keep it at something happens with that. And some of y'all know that way too well because some of y'all do the same spell over and over and it doesn't work. You're like, fuck, I did money rituals and it didn't work for me. Girl, there's a million and motherfucking 20 plus rituals out there to do motherfucking money rituals, bitch, and you stuck on the ones that you only find on YouTube or Google. Girl, bye. There's many spells out there for healing, and you're only stuck on the ones that you've heard or seen on YouTube. And that's what's happening. You're limiting yourself. That energy may not connect with you. And that's why I say it's important to ground yourself spiritually every damn day and ask, is this for me? And if it's for me, show me a sign. Like, stop letting people direct your life, because at the end of the day, you're becoming spiritually dead. And the more you become spiritually dead, the more naturally binded you become. And going into, like I said, racism, sexism, all the shit, those are spiritually dead people. And there's nothing you can do to change that. You cannot change a person who do not like gays to change their mind unless they want to change it. But you cannot change that because they're spiritually dead. They're stepping outside of that realm. They're saying, I'm not a king and a queen, bitch. I'm a basic ass motherfucker. I'm not aware of that, of me being a multi-dimensional being. Even going to how we talked about on that other thing, classification domain, all the good stuff. That shows that you are an interdimensional being. Because even within the genus of Homo, like Homo sapiens, yeah, don't think homosexuals, bitch, you know. You can think that if you want to. Depends on how your brain is, honey. But everyone is not even, there's different categories within the Homo sapien area. Look it up. Do your research. You have Homo antecessors. You got Homo lenicus. You got Homo neanderthalensis. You got Homo cabergonelensis. You got Homo. Bitch, there's so many motherfucking categories under motherfucking Homo. Girl, you got primates, you can, girl, bye. Anyway, like I said, do your research and stop letting the stupid, no, we're not gonna say stupid, because stupid means you have intelligence, but you choose not to use it. Stop letting the ignorant motherfuckers teach you about, educate you on anything, because they don't have it. ED and IG is not the motherfucking same thing, honey, and that's just all I'm gonna say. You know, as we talk about the spirit of Instagram and the spirit of Facebook, and, you know, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to go into that because that's not my tea, but you know, I pay attention. And I see a lot of people who I feel have good potential. And we're not going to say a lot of people. There, you know, some people I deal with personally, and, you know, I'm just looking like, this is sad, honey. Like, are you really, I don't even think you're really paying attention. I think that, and that's fine, because maybe what I'm saying to you doesn't resonate with you, and that's fine. You know, you're not ready to get there yet, and that's totally okay. You're not ready. That's okay. But to think that you have some opportunities that I've had, you have the opportunity to actually take what you're seeing physically and bring it internally, because as above, so below. Okay, as on the outside is so in the inside. So you're just reading things, but you're not actually grasping or absorbing it. Then like I say, you've got nobody to blame but yourself, especially when it comes to breaking up relationships, real, genuine relationships. And like I said, a lot of people will never experience real, genuine relationships, friendships, business relationships, because of course they're stuck on shit that does not serve them. They're not ready to open up. So they become offended. And I tell y'all this, some people on my Facebook and my IG recently, they'll post stuff that is incorrect. And because I know that they want knowledge, I know that they're hungry for information, I will not correct them, but I would say, hey, this is invalid information, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be trying to read me down. Like, bitch, you think you know it all? I don't think I know it all, but I know enough. And I know whatever that person posted that you're sharing is bullshit. And if you're not spiritually awakened or you're not spiritually in tune enough to see that, to understand that, if you're so, no, we'll take this back. If you're so egotistical driven, if you're so natural law bounded to where you're literally shackled to the damn wall of the natural laws to see that what they're saying can't even sound, I mean, it don't even make any sense, then bitch, that's your tea. That's your tea. Bitch, don't get offended by me. And like I said, I think that go into cognitive dissonance. I think when people know that there's more information out there, real information out there, and they choose not to take that information, and with someone younger than them, and I don't know why that is with older people. It's not all older people. It's the majority of older people I meet, though. They cannot accept the fact there are, like, age is just a number. Like, there are people that are younger than you that knows more things than you because whatever reason, who knows? Maybe they have ancestors or they have grandparents who are obviously older than you that taught them the real shit. I don't know, but you can't be upset at that. Like, that's my story, and maybe your story is different. But like I said, I don't know why that is. And then even with the younger people who do think they know everything because they got Google, and it's like Google don't know everything you need, girl. Google can't tell you everything, girl. I use Google Map all the time, girl. I've been stuck in deserts and shit because of Google Map. Can we talk about it? Google don't know everything, bitch. I've been stuck in the middle of fucking mountain ranges because motherfucking Google. Bitch, I walked into somebody's house. Bitch, I wasn't even supposed to be there because of Google. Can we talk about it? Can we talk? Bitch, please. Google will have you think you're going to Ace Hardware, bitch. You walk to somebody's backyard. You're like, wait, hold on. So it's like, girl, just because you can Google don't mean you know everything. What I know and what I learned, bitch, I was there. Like, I actually experienced it, or I had someone who experienced it who actually taught me face to face, this is what it is and this is how you do it. And because I trust them, because I see their life, I'm going to do it. And that's how that goes. But a lot of people, like I said, they go by shit that does not even have any real evidence, naturally or supernaturally. It's just like, because a person look like you, you're going to believe that. Because a person could possibly, I don't know. It's just some bullshit. And I know I feel like I'd be redundant with shit like that. For real. Because I feel like I'm always saying shit like that. And it's so true. Because like I said, I get so many emails from people, messages from people about the same stuff. And I'm just like, ooh, common sense is uncommon. And that's not even a cut in. It's just like, oh my God, girl. Woo-saw, woo-saw, woo-saw. Excuse me. Anyway, well, let me see what's in here before I go. I have to. Oh, is it 9? Ooh, it is 9 o'clock. I really gotta go. Let me see who's up in there, honey. My baby gonna be bugging me right now. Leave me alone. 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 You're fooling wrong. You're fooling wrong. Oh God. Anyway, well, let's see who's up in here before I go. And if you want to be a god or a goddess, bitch, let me see you act like one. Let me see you act like one. Then I'll think about it. Oh God, then I'll think about it, girl. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me see. I think I got too many windows open. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me, honey. Excuse me. Can I excuse myself? Excuse me.
Honey, allergies is crazy, honey. And it's warm over here too, so that really doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. hmm Okay, let me see. YouTube is so motherfucking changed, honey. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, come on, Rico. Please, yes, a lot of color people I know have that problem. Of course, Jay. Of course. And people will put it on, and I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of the shit. There's a lot of people of color that have experienced slavery. I mean, right now, you still have modern day slavery. We're not even going to go into that. There's a lot of things that people who are free, what they cannot do. Can we talk about that for a minute? Like me being a trans woman, I should be talking about I have PTSD because the whole thing about gays not being able to have full rights is really a motherfucking problem. Can we talk about that? But because I'm not bounded by the natural laws, it does not stop me from getting anything. Me being a trans woman does not stop me from getting no money, no man, no woman, no friends, no protection, no recognition, no education. It's not stopping me from doing a motherfucking thing. But you, being someone who is still free, who has more opportunities, more space open for you, you're limiting yourself by saying, well, my people, my people, girl, that's the old shit. Bitch, wake your ass up. Like sometimes I want to shake people. Wake up. Wake up. You don't have to forget it, girl, but definitely move on. Because your ancestors are not still weeping over that shit, girl. Without that experience, bitch, you think you'll be able to do what you're doing now? Can we talk about it? But because you're so negative and you're so bounded by the natural laws, you can't see past what the spiritual reason was behind that physical situation. And unfortunately, you got a lot of spiritual teachers out there teaching you that rhetoric, that stupid shit, and you're believing it. And not about you believing it because it's an experience that really happened. Obviously, it's documented, but it didn't happen the way that they're saying it happened. So why not you being that person so connected to your ancestors, get all these downloads, go into meditation and say, show me ancestors what you experienced. I want to see it. Because you're getting downloads on other people's situations, other people's mama and daddy. You can come out here and say, Nipsey Hussle did that, Dada Doo said that. You should talk about today there's going to be Jupiter in the sky, and the sky going to be this and that. You can talk about that shit and geomagnetic storms, but you can't sit here and tell me anything about what your ancestors experienced and what ancestors showed you that. Because in that process is where you will find healing. And in that healing process where you'll be able to come out and say, girl, the motherfuckers that was holding my ancestors down are no longer here. So now I have a new way of experiencing life. Even going to, like I said, we're in the age of communication, and motherfucker, I was with a whole bunch of motherfuckers can't even research how there are successful Black people right now in America. They can't even research that there are Black people that are successful business owners because they're so stuck underneath the domains. They're so stuck underneath the table. They're so stuck beneath the surface of the earth. They're not living on top of the earth, obviously, that they can't see that. So when someone like me come out and say, girl, the grass is green on the other side. Girl, there's life outside of this. You don't gotta let that be the reason why you can't live your life. Then it's, oh, fuck you. Oh, bitch, you don't see like me. You don't know me. You don't know my family been through. Girl, bye. Everybody had to work to get somewhere. Bitch, don't sit there and act like you're disprivileged or you're the only one that have to go through shit, girl. Bitch, everybody have to work for something to get something. But because I choose not to think about the negative and move past it, I say, bitch, honey, I'm a part of something great. I come from greatness. My ancestors fought to get where they were. My ancestors left legacy. They did things. The same DNA that was in them is also within me. Bitch, I have the ability. And like I said, a lot of you have ancestors that were very successful. They're still successful. But you're still stuck on the fact that you were enslaved. And not you were, but your ancestors were.
You're still stuck on that. You're not looking at the positive things that were accomplished. I would be validating that, not validating the negative aspect. You think that if a woman miscarried a child or she even had an abortion, are you going to always bring it up? Oh, girl, enjoy your kids now, but you remember you aborted that baby. Like, who does that? Who does that? Nobody does that. Life goes on. Keep pushing. Take that anger and that energy that you have for that and invest it into healing. So your children, especially you have kids, your children don't be as ignorant as you or stupid as you, because we're not saying ignorant, stupid as you. So your children can understand, bitch, that's what it was in the past, but now in order for me to rise up and claim my throne or claim my empire, my super kingdom or my kingdom, I got to look past the physical shit. Because we all know that, bitch, you were in the spirit before you got into the physical, and you're going to go back into the spirit when you're done with the physical. We all know this. So why spend your lives, your 50 years, your 40 years, your 30 years, focus on the physical shit when it's not going to serve you when you die? But it's going to serve you, bitch, because you're going to be an earthbound spirit. You're not going into no after, girl. You're not rising up out into no girl by. Somebody says that everybody's ancestors in the fourth and fifth dimension. No, they're not. Some of your ancestors are still stuck here. Because, bitch, they have not moved past. They have not moved past the things they were supposed to experience physically or in the natural world to give them greater access to the spiritual and supernatural world. And that's what spirituality talks about. That's what our ancestors did. Those who have real ancestors that are actually awake, that actually learned their true tea. They spent their lives preparing for that, including slavery, if you want to talk about that. Honey, I think you need to do real research on the history of slavery and you see exactly how they lived outside of what the bad shit they're feeding you. But like I say, you're only looking at the negative. Stay out that window. You're only looking at the negative and you're only speaking about those experiences. White people think, Asian people think, gay people, you better be careful, gay people taking over. What? Bitch, you need to check your history. You're claiming to be Native American indigenous, but you better check your fucking history. You're talking about you're African, you better check your motherfucking history, bitch. We were a part of your organization then, and we're still a part of the motherfucking shit, bitch. Ain't nobody taking over nothing, bitch. Bitch, you came to us to bury your deceased. You came to us for insight. Bitch, you came to us for all your shit you could not see naturally. Because that's where your place was. Your place was manifesting naturally. Where our place, LGBT in history, was to manifest spiritually. So you had us in your armies, you had us in your spiritual groups, you had us in your teachings, you had us in all that, girl. You better do your research, girl. But you're going to sit here and try to tell me that you're awake and spirit is giving you downloads. And I'm getting, like, girl, ask spirit to break those addictions you have to marijuana, drugs, tobacco, or motherfucking alcohol. Let's talk about that. Ask spirit to give you those downloads, because I think those downloads are more important than a download of whether or not you should be friends with somebody. Like, I don't think that would be even important to your ancestors or your spirits to even for you to even care about. Worrying about who's going to be friends with you. You should be more worried about your health and your life. Because a sour apple that goes in comes out even more sour. Can we talk about that? That's something I just made up, bitch. A sour apple going in comes out even sour. So whatever you put in here comes out sour. So you can't tell me you putting all that up in here and all that shit, girl, and you blessed, and your body is the Lord's temple, and you're a goddess. Girl, you better have several seats, because you're not there yet, girl. Sit it on down. Okay? Who you doing? Come on, Kia. Yes, honey. Yes, level up. Everybody cannot go with us. That's right, Kia. Everybody ain't gonna be sitting pretty. You know, everybody ain't gonna get there. Anybody, ow. Okay, come on, Eclectic. Who you doing? Yes, good evening, TC. Who you doing? Yes, honey. Yes, thank you, J Angels. How you doing? Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Come on. Yes, honey. You turned 18 tonight. Come on, CJ Taylor. And I can listen to your wisdom while celebrating. Come on, CJ. Hey, come on, CJ. Let's celebrate. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate. Matter of fact, today was somebody's birthday. We went to one of my favorite places out here. Let me show y'all. But like I said, I've been talking a lot, y'all. I've been coughing, all the good stuff.
And y'all know I talk a lot, bitch. I've been talking a little too much, But I went to one of my favorite Mexican restaurants today. And somebody was celebrating their birthday there too. And somebody was like, I'm sorry, boo boo. Let me get my baby wants some of this. He wants some of this. He gonna get his enchiladas right there. See the enchiladas and the frijoles and the rice, honey. Yes, he gonna get him some of that. Oh, yeah. So they were celebrating somebody's birthday, and they were singing "Happy Birthday" so differently. It was like "Happy Birthday." No, I can't even say that tone. It was like a weird. Like the notes they were hitting was not like "Happy Birthday to you." It was not like that, or the urban way "Happy Birthday." It was nothing like that, honey. It was like, "Girl, who wrote that song? Look at that." They were cute too. Big copy that, uncle. Is that uncle? Is that the uncle? What's what that daddy is? Oh, that's your daddy. What's up with that? I don't mind, honey. I'll take daddy's too. Who you doing? Mm-hmm. Yes, honey. On the world as it is in heaven. Come on, Melly. What's that scripture? And it actually says, in the heavens. Come on. Yes, honey. The Indian subcontinent. I'm not sorry, Jay. Who's on? What's my IG? My IG is 2_spirit_mystic. Yes, honey. Come on, Joey. Who you doing? Yes, come on, Rico. Yes, Gamma feels like Thanksgiving to me. There you go. One of my favorite holidays because it's around my B-day. Feels happy and comforting. Now I feel my dad like Christmas, excited and happy. There you go. And that's what I'm saying. We interpret our deceased loved ones separate. Now, sometimes it will come in the form that we've seen them in to show us. This is what I looked like when I was my happiest. Like for my sister, when I see her in my dreams and stuff, or when we're having like spiritual meetups, you call it the in the astral realms, I see her at her healthiest, like when she was at that I would say the way that she loved, the way that she would have loved to be at. I see her there every time. So of course, like I say, they will show us that because they're letting us know this is what I was comfortable with. That's why people say, when I saw my mama and she wasn't walking with a cane, or when I saw my mama, she'd have an oxygen tank. That's your interpretation of that. Bitch, your spirit don't look like your physical body. Girl, bye. Bitch, please. Stop doing that, honey. Here's the baby kid. He about to get kicked out. Mm-hmm. I was still like, come on, Plain Care. You welcome, honey. Yes. Right. People call themselves kings and queens. Can they respect people? I would never, and I'm going to tell you all this right now, my mother is my queen. My mother is a queen because she don't judge nobody. She sees it for what it is. She has her fair. So if my mother was totally different to where she was like, honey, I can accept you for being trans. Honey, I gave birth to a man, not a woman. If my mother was that type of mother, I kid y'all not. And this sounds horrible. There we go. Hold on. This sounds horrible. Saying it the way I'm saying it. But if my mother was not for me and what my spirit has manifested to be, I would have to cut her off. I would say, girl, bye. I wish you the best, honey. You gave birth to me, and I'm very thankful for that, bitch. I'll do spirit work, honey. Thank you, spirit, for allowing her to push me out. But she is not a queen. She cannot be my ruler. She cannot be in my level. So because she's not on my frequency, I cannot be cool with her. Bye, girl. I don't have a problem doing that. It is what it is. Some of y'all need to do that, honey. Y'all mama and daddy don't respect y'all, don't tolerate y'all. And y'all, well, it's my mama. Girl, bye. You can have spiritual mamas. Bitch, what I look like being bitter and miserable because you want me to be bitter and miserable. Girl, bye. And you are what you are around. So I'm not going to be with somebody who does not agree with me. You know, if I'm saying Catherine and you're saying Michael,
Or, I'm saying queen, you saying king, and okay, bruh, you doing all that, bitch, and yeah, we're never gonna be friends. Because on the outside, you can do all that. I don't care, bitch, you're not sitting with me. So on the outside, you can say, hey, bruh, hey, man, hey, nigga, you can do that. Because, bitch, we don't hang around with each other. So that poison ain't getting inside of me. But now you think that we're gonna be on the phone together, sitting down together, going to eat together, you're gonna be in my private space, and you have those thoughts going through your mind, girl or boy, you gotta go. And I hate to see you, feel so entitled, but I love the fact is that, bitch, we don't gotta fuck around with each other. So anyway, honey, yes. Anyway, a lot of older people do got older. Yes, a lot of older people have that problem. Yes, of course they do. Oh my God, Jay. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm not coming in. I've met some of them. And I'm like, I know what this is. This is somebody who grew older, but they did not grow wiser. When you grow wiser, nobody younger than you affects you. Because you're like, bitch, I've been there, done that. Same dog, different collar. Can we talk about it? Bitch, you've learned the same tricks I've learned, but you've learned it in a different way. So when you're wiser, you understand that, bitch, and you're not threatened by that. When you have grown older, but you have not grown wiser, then you feel threatened, like, bitch, oh, this young bitch thinks she know everything. Ooh, bitch, what you know? You haven't lived 50 years. Girl, what you know? You haven't lived 62 years. And it's like, what? Are you a spiritualist? Are you a spiritual person? Or are you a physical person? Because a physical person will say that. Bitch, what you know, little girl? Sit down, little girl. You haven't had enough experience. What? You ever heard of clarocognitive? Right? Is that what it's called? Clarocognance? That's what they call it. It's getting ancient information you're not aware of. It just comes to you. Huh? Hello, you're aware of that? Are you aware of that? People are knowing their history on a cellular level, and in this life they can remember what they've learned. So they come into the world already smart. Some of y'all have kids like that are 2 years old and they know everything. They know how to speak different languages, they know how to act. And you're like, what? How the fuck that little 2-year-old know that? Girl, they remember their past lives. They remember that they've had lives here before and they've carried these experiences with them. Now, of course, they don't remember all of it, but still they have little, vague memories of what they experienced. So like I said, just because you're older than me don't mean you know more than me. And that's okay. But like I said, a lot of older people, they got a problem with that. What do you know? I'm older than you. How do you? And it's just like, okay, but I got friends that are older than you. My spiritual teachers are like, they could be your parents. Can we talk about it? Like my spiritual teacher, bitch, is 90, like almost 90, like really, like not too far away from being fucking 90. So it's like, bitch, now are you 90? Now, if you're older than my teachers, then I can say, okay, but you're not older than them. So there's nothing you can share with me. And I always say this too, there's nothing anyone who is living a life that I'm not going to live, who has experienced things the hard way because they did not know better, that I fortunately don't have to go through because I've seen other people's experiences. And I think the scripture says, or saying says, a fool is someone who has to experience everything for themselves. It's something like that. But anyway, girl, bye. I like secured older people. I like people that are actually wise. I like wise older people. Just because you're older, honey, don't mean that, bitch, I'm going to be like, ooh, you're older than me. Girl, bye. Are you wise? Huh? Do you know when to sit down and shut up? Ain't no old person who is wise going to be fighting with a young person. That's just common sense. We all know you don't have the energy, you don't have the stamina, you don't have the physical ability if you got down like that. So why would you sit here and risk going into that? I have aunties that are way older than me. I have cousins that are way older than me. And they flat out and say, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, little girl. I'm not going to say, girl, honey, excuse me. I'm not going to do it. I got many, many years on you, so you can sit there and argue with your stuff all day long. But girl, bye. Some of these motherfuckers, they'll be 50 years old out here arguing with 20-year-olds. Like, how are you going to tell the 20-year-old about herself and her mama has a different, can we talk about that? If the mama had a different experience than you had, who do you think she going to base her life off of, her mama or you? And that's what people got to realize. You can't be jumping down everybody's neck because they're younger than you, because their mom and daddy probably had a different life than you.
You know, maybe your life wasn't great. Maybe you didn't have a mom or dad guiding you. And that young person's parents did have that. So they're more complete than you are. Like, what the fuck we look like getting a wholesomeness from a half-bred bitch? And I say that with the utmost respect. What would it look like getting wholesomeness from a bitch that didn't know who her mama or her daddy was? Honey, or didn't know why, because I know you have that question. Why wasn't they there? Why did my daddy not care? Why was my mama not there? And of course, people can tell you lies. Well, they have to give you up because of this, that. No, bitch. No. There's some deeper rooted shit because they had a problem with their mama, which is your grandmama, which is your grandfather. And that's what it was. It's a pathological curse. It is a generational curse passed down. And bitch, you inherited that. But you're going to sit out and act like you ain't got it. Oh, no, I'm definitely fine. Even though I grew up in the system, I'm definitely fine. Girl, bye. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your tree has rooted somewhat, but it's still not rooting. It's still, girl, it has stopped prematurely. People who had the honor to be raised but with wholesomeness, knowing who and what they are well, they're more deep rooted than you are, and that makes them stronger. No tea, no shade. That's not a cut in. I'm just saying how it is. So, bitch, like I said, can no half hold or half pitted woman or man tell me anything, because I grew up with wholesomeness. I grew up knowing exactly who, what, when, why, and how. Honey, both sides, maternal and paternal. So nothing you can tell me, girl. Nothing you can share with me that I've not learned from my ancestors or my teachers. Nothing. Now you go over there, you can teach people like you because you've been down that road. You know what it's like to be in the system, so you should be doing work with people that were in the system too. Like, girl, no tea, no shade. That's what you can help with. But honey, dealing with some wholesomeness, bitch, you're not ready for that, girl. You don't know what that is. You know what it's like to have a whole apple pie, girl. You had a piece of that pie, or you had half of that pie. And a piece of it means that they were coming in and out your life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Come on, Daya. Who you doing? But anyway, respect. Respect for oneself and others. So, like I said, I did this video and I'm going to go. I'm going to take my little mucus tea, honey, because I feel the tea draining right now. It's draining right now, bitch. Ooh. But anyway, I'm going to take my little tea, which is this. Oh my gosh, I should have brought my bag in here and showed you guys. Walmart has this organic mucus syrup. Y'all, it has honey in it, thyme, or oregano, apple cider vinegar. It has a whole bunch of things. I'll probably show it on my Instagram. And it's so good for you. Ugh, I better start taking it last night. Yesterday, it was horrible. It was so horrible. I was so congested. And then we were out in the park, and I'm like, oh my God. It was horrible. But I want to stop right here, like I said, and share with you guys, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Can we talk about it, honey? Thy will be done. Okay, when you step into the will, because we all have free will. So you have free range to explore. The will is stepping into your higher self. Okay? And thy kingdom will come when you step in, honey. When you recognize who you really are, that's when your kingdom comes. As long as you think that you're only defined by the laws of nature, then bitch, there's no queendom or kingdom coming for you, honey. That kingdom gonna stay far away from you. Gonna be like, what's going on, mister? Even one of the people that I've done work with, like I said, what triggered this, he was like, so in the magic, we're gonna see this happen first, then we're gonna see this, right? And I said, first of all, let's not sit here and think about the process. Maybe this can happen first, and then this happens. Either way, it's going to happen the way that you're desiring it to happen. So stop thinking about the process and think about the results. When you think about it, say, oh, my baby, oh, hey, honey, like think about that. Get your emotions involved. Stop worrying about planning. It's not going to work out that way. It never works out. Spirit will always surprise you. Trust me. I've asked for stuff. Spirit has given me that and more. And the way that I received what I asked for, I would have never have imagined that's how I would have received it. So Spirit has a way of working in mysterious ways. Who you doing? Dealing with the sovereign kingdom. The sovereign kingdom works in mysterious ways. Can we talk about that? So, like I said, it's not about you having understanding, honey. It's about you saying, I know what is to come, and I'm going to prepare myself for that. I know that I want to be higher up. I want to rank higher. Take me higher. And I'm open to the possibilities. I'm open to the process. Not no, wait, hold up. So I'm trying to get a job first. So my other job are going to fire me first, and the new job is going to call me. Why? Either way, you're going to get your new job. Maybe the new job is going to call you first. Maybe you're going to go interview with the new job. Maybe you're going to start a day or two on the new job. Then you're going to call your previous job or give your 2 weeks of notice, like or 2 weeks of resignation. I mean, girl, like you don't have to worry about the process. Let spirits do what they do. Why are you so concerned about the process? Let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. As long as you're getting your results, that's all that matters. Now, when you're doing the work on your end, you definitely worry about how the process is going to happen because it doesn't work out for you. Then you know why it's not working out. Okay? Then you know exactly why it's not working out. Okay? But anyway, thank you guys for stopping by tonight. And of course, for those who are in the Santa Muerte class, you should have got the part 3. Now you're going to get the final aspect of it by Saturday. And I'm excited. And then those of you who were doing case report, if you have not heard back from me yet, I'm getting to you. I've emailed people yesterday. I've emailed people today. Some people I got lots and lots of tea today or this week. We're actually going to be doing some more and more tea. And yes. So like I said, bear with me. Of course, one of you hit me up for 2 readings. I responded back to you. I've not heard back from you. If you know who you are, respond back to me. Because if not, you're going to forfeit your tea. Girl, it took her 2 weeks. No, it took her 2 months to get back to me on one of the things and 2 weeks to respond after that. Okay, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Can we talk about it? But anyway, yes. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all for stopping by. Step into the kingdom of the super motherfucking natural, honey. Who you doing? I didn't want to say that. But anyway, let me go, honey. You know, I'm about to blow my nose. Can I blow this nose? I'll be back. I'll be back on my feet come Thursday. Anyway, bye for now.